Hello my guys, welcome to another big ass unboxing from yours truly. I hope you are all sitting comfortably. So today I have 7 things that I'm going to be opening up for you guys. 5 of them are like my regular monthly subscriptions. One is, if you saw last month's unboxing, it is the other thing that I ordered for a friend that I thought I had last month and I didn't. I think that's what it is anyway, I might be wrong. And then I have one thing that I've ordered from a subscription box company outside of a regular subscription. So first off, I'll start by going through everything we have here today and let you guys know what our rep package is and what aren't. This one on top is a sequel from the Locked Library that I did pay for myself. I have not read the book that this is a sequel to, but I have read from that author before and enjoyed their work. I have skipped this month's Locked Library, April's Locked Library. I cannot remember why, but the book was not overly appealing to me. I think, was it a... no, that's May. I have no idea at this point, guys. The next thing that we have is the April Illumicrate. So this one was sent to me by the team over at Illumicrate to show to you guys. So thank you so much to Illumicrate for that. This is a UK-based subscription box. Every month you get a brand new hardback release in an exclusive edition. Typically they tend to hover around a new adult demographic, like 99% of the time fantasy or sci-fi, and you get a selection of bookish goodies in here as well. If you guys would like to get your very own Illumicrate after watching this video, you can use my code Becca5 to get yourself a discount on a 3 or 6 month subscription. Now for the Fairyloot. Now this is exciting because he has something new here, which you guys all probably knew I was going to get, but I am a rep for Fairyloot, but one of these things I have paid for myself. So the adult monthly subscription and the YA monthly subscription are rep packages, and these were sent to me by the Fairyloot team to show to you guys. So thank you so much to Fairyloot for that. The YA subscription is, as you can imagine, a young adult hardback release in an exclusive edition with a selection of bookish goodies, and then the adult subscription is book only, and this is an adult hardback fantasy release in an exclusive edition. The brand spanking new one that I have subscribed to all by my lonesome and I pay for myself is their Romantasy subscription. Now I am intrigued about this subscription as a whole because I am a big fantasy romance fan, but a lot of Fairyloot's regular books do skew fantasy romance, so I feel like this is going to be fantasy romance but quite smutty, and depending on how smutty the subscription is going to skew like as a whole depends on how much I'm going to enjoy it, because I like my fantasy romance to be like heavy plot and also like compelling romantic subplot. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm very excited about it though. The last thing I have from Fairyloot is the thing that I've ordered for a friend. This is outside of their regular subscription. It's one of the special editions that they did. I think it's Fourth Wing. And then the last thing I have is the May GSFF book. No, the April GSFF book. If you guys don't know about the GSFF, it is the GOLDSBORO Science Fiction and Fantasy Fellowship. These are first edition signed and numbered hardbacks with an exclusive edition. Nothing as fancy as like Fairyloot and Illumicrate tend to do, but with some modification. And I did a whole vlog series on the subscription and what I thought of it overall. I am going to be getting, I've got the April one, I'm going to be getting the May one as well, because that also sounds very interesting to me. So while we're talking about it, we will just go for the GSFF. If y'all did tune into that vlog series that I did, you will know that I also did a wrap up, a concluding episode in that series, and then I unhauled, I would say like 3/4 of the books that I used for that vlog series, like the GOLDSBORO editions. So if there were any of the GOLDSBORO editions that you had your eye on that you liked that I didn't, I have listed the majority. Some of them have gone at the point of me filming this, and I'm sure at the point of you actually seeing this more will go, but I have set up a Vinted for all of the books that I'm unhauling in the future, and quite a lot of GOLDSBORO books are on there right now. As somebody who recycles and is always repackaging, I truly do adore the amount of bubble wrap that GOLDSBORO provide me with. But this one is Dragon Rider by Taran Matharu. So I have the Novice, which I know a lot of people really like. It's like a Pokemon kind of fantasy novel, and I haven't read it yet, but oi, can you don't eat sellotape, my girl. I'm not sure whether this is YA. I'm gonna check though, because I think that this could be Taran Matharu's, is it Matharu or Matharu? I think it could be their adult debut. Yeah, so this one is the first book in the Soulbound saga, and it is Taran Matharu's debut adult fantasy series. So that is why I wanted it. Also, like, this edition is stunning. It's in a slipcase. I will overlay the original cover over the top so you guys can see the difference. It is very, very different. It's funny because I said that the GSFF don't normally modify as much as Fairyloot or Illumicrate, and then the book in question that I have to show you is like a fully changed like slipcase edition. Ooh, pretty. And this one is number 1807 out of 2000. Oh, it's got a really nice map as well. So I am going to read the synopsis of this off Goodreads. I did briefly look into it when I decided I was going to keep this one, but I remember nothing at this point. So the synopsis on Goodreads says, author Taran Matharu's debut adult fantasy series introduces a world of magic, warriors and dragons in which a fearless orphan and an ambitious handmaiden flee from the empire that would imprison them, with a dream to return to their homelands and a determination that is unbreakable. Can an orphan captive learn the secrets of the dragon riders who stand up and avenge his people? Jai lives as a royal hostage in the Sabine court ever since his father Rowan, leader of the steppe folk, led a failed rebellion that was executed by the very emperor Jai now serves. When the emperor's son and heir is betrothed to Princess Erica of the neighbouring Dansk kingdom, she brings with her dragons. Endemic to the northern nation, these powerful beasts come in several forms, but mystery surrounds them. Only Dansk royalty knows the secret to soul bonding with these dangerous beasts to draw on their power and strength. This marriage and the alliance that forms will change that forever, but conspirators lurk in the shadows, and soon the Sabine court is in chaos. With his life in danger, Jai uses the opportunity to escape the Dansk handmaiden Frida and a stolen hatchling. Hunted at every turn, he must learn to cultivate magic and become a soulbound warrior if he has any chance of finding safety, seizing his destiny and seeking his revenge. So nothing about this seems overly original, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be really good, because the classics are classics for a reason, and I love just like a solid world on fantasy, and hopefully this is the one. If you've read this already, I don't know when it's released, I assume it's already out, but if you've read it, let me know, because I know a ton of you guys are real big fans of The Novice. Oh, what's that series called? The Summoner series, that is the one. Moving into the Fairyloots, we will start off with what I am assuming is the Fairyloot edition of Fourth Wing. The reason why this has took so long to get to me is because I got it in the second printing. Like I said last month, these are for my friend. I decided that I did not need them because I'm happy with the editions of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame that I already have, and I didn't like, it's not, while I enjoyed Fourth Wing, it's not something that I feel like I need an excessive amount of copies of. So I'm essentially just looking at these because I'm nosy and I want to see the customization, because they do have just like the regular cover on. This is the standard cover of Fourth Wing. They have a nice stenciled edge, but it's like no better than the like Waterstones one that I have. And we have a mat in the end pages on both sides. And then, okay, this is, I remember now when I looked at the Fairyloot edition of Iron Flame last month, it was the reverse dust jacket art that I like the most. Here is the foiling on the hardcover, and then this is the only reason why I regret not getting these even a little bit, because I am obsessed with that reverse dust jacket art. It is gorgeous. I love the color scheme, the art style, everything. So y'all know what Fourth Wing is about at this point. Do I even need to tell you guys? It is about a girl who has trained to be a scribe in this war college, but her mother is like the leader of the Dragon Riders. So she forces her daughter to join the Dragon Riders Squadron, even though the girl has a chronic illness. So she's really worried, because if you make one misstep in the Dragon Riders Squadron, you are dead. So she feels like she doesn't have what it takes to actually become a Dragon Rider, and obviously it's very dangerous. But throughout the course of the book, she kind of proves herself and everybody else who are doubting her wrong. So next up we will do the Romantasy subscription. I'm gonna do with this what I do with every subscription, like new subscription that I get. I'm not gonna skip it for a year, and I'm going to hopefully read the year's worth of books and make a decision on like the subscription as a whole based on, because like not everything's going to be a hit. Like regardless if it was the best subscription and I like curated it personally myself, I'm still not going to love all of the books. So we're not going to skip for the first year, and this one is not one that I'm like overly interested in, and I've also heard very mixed things about it, but it is what it is. The theme for this month is Enchanted Fae, and y'all know Fae romance is my favorite romance. So let's have a little look. Oh, we do have a letter from the author on the back of this art card in here, and this is, oh, the cover hasn't changed, I don't think. It is Law of the Wilds by Annalie Sabrana. Let me just, I'm pretty sure that this is the standard cover because I've seen it in Waterstones. It has a different colorway, so I'll overlay the original over the top. It is like more green and earthy toned, whereas this is more blue and like turquoise. Yeah, turquoise, just blue toned, let's say. We have some foiling. Oh, I love that. That's a very nice edge, and I really like the pop of pink, like contrasting with the blue. The back says, would you like to know how to capture the moonlight and wield it for yourself? How about which mushrooms will give you the strength of 100 men and which will put 100 to sleep with just one taste? To never be subjected to the dark again. Would you like to know if your loved ones are safe all those miles away? We have custom foiled end pages under here. That is also very pretty. That is very, very nice. I like that a lot. It is both printed and foiled. And then we also have, as Fairyloot have been doing recently, we have a reversible just jacket. I think personally for me with this one, I do prefer the original jacket, and I do like the color change, but I do like the Fairyloot are providing that alternative if you do want the cover to be different to the standard. So the synopsis says, a library with a deadly enchantment, a Fae lord who wants in, a human woman willing to risk it all for a taste of power. In a land ruled by ruthless Fae, 21-year-old Law Alemeyu's village is trapped in a forested prison. Law knows that any escape attempt is futile. Her scars are a testament to her past failures, but when her village is threatened, Law makes a desperate deal with Fae Lord. She convinces him that she will risk her life for wealth, but really she's after the one thing the Fae covet above all, magic of her own. As Law navigates the hostile world outside of her village, she's forced to rely on 2 Fae males to survive. When undeniable chemistry ignites, she's not just in danger of losing her life, but also her heart, to the very creatures she can never trust. The perfect cottagecore book about books with a love triangle that will keep you guessing. I gotta say, I'm not a cottagecore girly, really. And books about books are fine, but they're not a selling point for me. And actually, I think the ones that I've actually read that I know are books about books. It's not my vibe. I like my stabby assassin fantasy. That's my vibe. But I will of course give it a try, and I'm excited to see what comes in the future for the Fairyloot Romantasy subscription. Okay, moving on to the adult. I do know what this is, and I have been spoiled because, like I said, I have set up a Vinted, and I've never used Vinted before, and I've kind of just realized how good it is for selling, but also how easy it is to buy. So I was like, I just wonder, because I'm not in the market for any special edition books. Like I have enough, and I get the subscription boxes, so I don't need to buy them elsewhere. But I was like, oh, I wonder what kind of prices people are selling special edition books for on here, because some things do tend to be quite cheap on there. So I just typed in Fairyloot, and I found an overwhelming amount of the books of the month. So I have spoiled myself for them. But the theme for the April adult box is the occult. This is by an author who has another book that was very, very hyped. It's a book that I have yet to read and that I'm not overly interested in, although I do have it because it came in the Fairyloot again. I do think that this book by this author has a synopsis that I'm a little bit more excited about. This one also has a letter from the author. I am also just realizing something, so let's get the book out to start off with. Wait, no, it's this way, right? Yeah. This one is Evocation by S.T. Gibson, but this is signed as Saint. So is it supposed to be Saint Gibson, not S.T. Gibson? Do you all know like what the deal is with that? Let me know. But this one is definitely at least a changed colorway, because I'm pretty sure that the original is like a green or like a tealy color. Yeah, so it is the colorway, I think, is the only change. So it, instead of it being like teal and silver, it is red and gold. We have, once again, a very impressive laser printed edge from Fairyloot. They are always superior. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this. The end pages are like shiny. It's just a shock to the system. I don't know if I prefer that. It's weird. It feels weird. I do really like, is it Mawild that has done the art for this? It says that the end paper artwork is by Warwick Art, which I feel like I have seen their work before, but I cannot specifically remember what it is or where I've seen it. Ooh, this also has a reverse dust jacket, which I prefer the yellow on red, the regular cover to the yellow on red. I do like the kind of spine. I like how it looks like religious iconography though. I wonder if that's relevant to the plot. We also have foiling under the dust jacket, which is different on both sides. Oh, and I just noticed the difference in the edges on top as well. I think the yellow on red is a little bit garish for me, but I like the red. No, this is what I mean when I say this is a little bit garish, but I like this. You know? So the back of this says only blood can rewrite blood, and the synopsis is very short. It says, when a family curse threatens the life of David, a medium, he will turn to the only person he's ever trusted, his sorcerer ex-boyfriend Reese, which means he will have to open his heart to Moira, Reese's astrologer wife. Meet David, Reese and Moira for the first time as they navigate magic-riddled Boston through hierarchical secret societies, familial bonds from beyond the grave, and much more in this gorgeous, richly imagined novel. This sounds really good. I am a big fan of like medium type series. No, I have not read Diviners yet, but it is, I actually think I might start it soon. But everything I've read that has that kind of like witchy, occult, like medium vibe, I've really enjoyed. Next up we have the YA Fairyloot. I am pretty sure that I know what this one is as well, but I have at this point forgotten. Oh, that is stuck in there. Let's do the dig. Ooh, I'm feeling some interesting things in here. I am hyped. Oh, I've been spoiled for the items and stuff on here from my little Vinted search that I did as well. Oh, it's literally right on top. The theme for this month is Dark Domains, and if you guys would like to check out the spoilers, you can pause and have a little look. I, as always, am going to be going in black. Do you have a problem, madame? You can leave at any point. You know that, right? For the first of the items, we have this pin flag. I really like the color palette on this, and I also really like the art style. This one is inspired by The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, which is a book that I have not read yet. I do really like the design though. We have, oh, some more reusable face pads. These ones are inspired by One Dark Window. I do like these as an inclusion. Are they different or, oh, they are different. No, they're not. They're all the same, which is fine. But they have this little woodland design on. These are great. I struggle with them. I just don't feel like, I feel like they move over my skin instead of actually taking the product off my skin. But maybe that's a me problem. I don't know. This is beautiful. This is inspired by Darker by 4 by June Sale Tan. Is that the book of the month? That's ringing a bell to me. I really like the kind of velvety effect of this. And it is a pencil case. It's an embroidered pouch, so it could be a pencil case or anything you want really. Actually, this would be a really nice like makeup bag, I feel. I think that's what I will use it for. We then have, ooh, a trivet. That is, I love items like this. This is inspired by Belladonna, which is a Fairyloot book that I have read and really enjoyed. I actually have got some really horrible trivets. They're not horrible, they're just not amazing, but this is great. I really appreciate this. I love a useful item, especially when it's a little bit unique like that. We have Fourth Wing page overlays. I'm not going to show you all of these because spoilers, maybe, I don't know, but I love page overlays. Page overlays are like one of my new favorite things. So I actually, because I have a copy of Fourth Wing here. I'm not leaving this in here though, you know, because it's not mine. So the first one goes in at chapter 7. I'm obsessed with page overlays. I truly am. Look how good they look. I am loving these as inclusions and boxes. I know they're not great for people like if you don't own the book that the overlays go in, but these are really nice. Big fan. These are the ones that I was spoiled for as well. I saw people selling them on Vinted. So just before we get to the book, we have the bonus items for the Fairyloot. Ooh, I really like this. Is this book? Because if this is this book, I'm 10 times more interested than I was to start off with. Yes, these are from Darker by 4 by June C.L. Tan, which is, I've just looked, is the book of the month. So in every Fairyloot, you get 2 tarot cards. The idea being that eventually you'll have a full deck of tarot. These are the 2 of Suns and the Ace of Suns from the book of the month. And I'm actually going to look up the original cover first now that I know what it is. Okay. I feel like this could be a similar cover, although Jade Fire Gold is very different to the cover I've just seen on Google. The book of the month is indeed Darker by 4 by June C.L. Tan. This one is a very different cover to the, I did check as well to see if there's more than one edition, as there sometimes is. There's like sometimes a UK and a US one, but I'm only seeing one, and it's like a character art one, so I think that this one is completely custom. It reminds me a lot of the Gabriella Romero Cruz one. What's that book called? It's Gabriela Romero Lacruz and it's The Sun and the Void, and I don't think that's the book. Is it by CJ? Something that's got like a black, white and gold cover. It's just the hands that reminded me of that. We have a butterfly edge on here. Also have pretty custom end pages. I like the kind of anime manga style that we have with that. This one is my favorite though because it's similar to the tarot card art. I like the academia kind of vibe that I'm getting from this. I have to say, this is not the first book that I've received like this. I like printed covers, like I like Law of the Wilds where it's printed and foiled. I don't think I like the marbly covers with foiling over the top. I feel like they look a little too busy, but it's got like a different design on the back as well. And then yes, this is the standard cover in a different colorway. This is more purple, whereas the original, I think, is it blue or is it red? It's more like, wait, I'm so confused. The original is more like pink. They're very similar colors, I feel. But anyway, I have no idea what this is about. So the synopsis says, her magic was stolen, she'll do anything to get it back. Ooh, pronunciation. Rui is an exorcist in training with one goal in mind, honing her magic to avenge her mother's death. Urine is the black sheep of an illustrious family. The world would be at his feet had he been born with magic. But when an accident causes Rui's power to transfer to Urine, everything turns upside down. Without her magic, Rui has no tool for vengeance. With it, Urine finally feels like he belongs. As dangerous monsters overrun the city, Rui will do whatever it takes to regain her power, even if that means making a deal with a shadowy stranger to track down a god who does not wish to be found. A sparkling YA urban fantasy with an achingly slow burn romance at its heart. Darker by Four is perfect for fans of Legendborn and the Mortal Instruments. Well, I DNF Legendborn, but I do really like the Mortal Instruments. If the contents of this book are anything like what the art implies, I feel like I'm gonna like this one. I like the vibe. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite item from this month's box is. I really like this Fairyloot box. These are my favorite items, and I think of the three, I don't know if I can choose between these two because I've had a pouch before. I love overlays and I'm a big fan of the trivet as well. So now we will move on to the Illumicrate. A big thank you once again to Illumicrate for providing this box for our unboxing. So, do I remember? I feel like I do know. Is this the book where the author had to spoil her own book because everybody was saying that it was a colonizer romance? Which I'm still outraged that that had to happen to this author. I'm pretty sure that it is this one. Yes, it is. So the theme for this month is magic versus science, which is like so interesting to me. I like books that mix that. And here are the spoilers in case you guys would like to take a look. This is the second time, I think in 2 months, that Fairyloot and Illumicrate, is it 2 months? I know I've had a box recently where Fairyloot and Illumicrate, I keep saying Illumicrate, have had pretty much the same items in them because we have the reusable face pads. What is this? Is everyone just like psychically connected? Next up, we have gardening gloves. Okay, I hate gardening. I do. My garden is a mess. I hate it. But I do like houseplants. Let's see if these fit. Oh, they're nice and stretchy and they are a decent fit even with my nails. That's not bad. I feel like they're not going to last an especially long time, but I like them. We then have, what is this? Oh my god. Oh, it's a big jigsaw. Oh my god. This is amazing. 1,000 pieces. Oh my god. I am obsessed. So Illumicrate have had some very small like 100-piece jigsaws in the past. I think Fairyloot have as well. But 1,000-piece jigsaw? I love this. This is amazing. Probably my favorite item. Oh, we have another one of the pencil cases, the little pencil tins. I keep my annotation supplies in them. So I have one down here, one in the living room, and now I can have one in the bedroom as well. This one is, I do not know. Could it be the Poppy War? No, it is Song of Silver, Flame Like Night. But the quote on the front here says, I wish for you to not go anywhere without me in this world and the next. I wish for you to choose me. And it's just a tin inside. So that is it for the items. The book of this month, To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X Chang. This one is an alternate colorway, I believe. I think that the original is a little bit more like green, but we have very pretty end pages in here. I love the art style. We have a printed hardcover, which I am a big fan of. Love a printed hardcover. And We have laser printed edges and yeah, nothing under the dust jacket. So the story with this book is that somebody read it, found some sort of like content that they thought was problematic, had very little reading comprehension, which forced Molly X Chang to then spoil their own book to tell people how the plot develops and why it isn't problematic. Meanwhile, she was getting like racist attacks and death threats. So the book community is truly the worst. And even though I'm part of it, I will stand by that those of you, not those of you, but those that are the worst are the worst. But I want to love this book and support this book even more because of that, because that is actually disgusting. But the synopsis says she has power over death, he has power over her. When two enemies strike a dangerous bargain, will they end a war or ignite one? Heroes die, cowards live. For as long as Yang Ruying has been alive, the empire of Erlang has been occupied by Romans who mercilessly defeated the magic of her people. Now the invaders' advanced science, technology and military make them gods, but Ruying is special, having been blessed by death and born with the ability to pull life out of mortal bodies. When Antony, the second prince of Rome, uncovers Ruying's power, he offers her an impossible deal. If she becomes his private assassin and eliminates his political rivals, her family will be protected. Can Ruying trust this prince, whose promises of a better world make her heart ache and whose smiles make her pulse beat faster? Are the evils of their agreement really in the service of a much greater good, or will she betray her entire nation to guard those she loves the most? Sign me up. That actually just generally sounds really good. Based on the synopsis, I don't understand because where is the reading comprehension? Based on the accusations that were hurled at this book, I see that in the synopsis. But I mean, come on guys. I mean, never send anyone death threats anyway, but have some reading comprehension, please. So down in my comments, let me know your favorite item of the, I mean, it is this for me. I think that's pretty obvious. Not too, oh, you get 4 items in this box. Decent. Not my favorite Illumicrate overall, but one of my favorite Illumicrate items because I am obsessed with this. Oh, they look like books as well. I'm so excited for there to be more of these as well. I love it. It's great. So no, I was like, that is everything. It is not, because we still have the sequel from Locked Library. Just as a follow-up, I did have a damaged Locked Library book last month. I did just email them. They sent me a new one. I actually haven't opened it yet because I know what it is, but I'm not including it in this unboxing because like we did that last month. But just to let you know that I did get a new copy that was not well, I'm assuming it's not damaged. I haven't seen it yet. But this one is the sequel to the Mark Lawrence book that we got in, was it like the first or second Locked Library? And it is the book that broke the world. I'm gonna be real, I can't remember what the first book in this series is about at this point, but I got the sequel because this is probably the best Locked Library edition that there's been. One of the best book selections as well. This is the kind of thing I wanted from Locked Library, and this is what we got when it started, and now it's kind of just like mediocre YA releases that literally nobody wanted or asked for. But I still think that this is stunning. Gorgeous end papers, really pretty naked hardcover. It has the ribbon bookmark as well and the matching spine. They're all, keep wanting to say broken binding, it's Locked Library. I do have a criticism for Mark Lawrence though, because I've read the first 2 Book of the Ancestor books, and where are my other ones? I'm not sure about the Prince of Thorns series, but for the Book of the Ancestor and for this, why are your sequels always shorter than your first books? That is like a massive red flag for me in fantasy. Like, you should be building upon and expanding upon what you had in book 1. Why are they always shorter? Mark Lawrence, hit me up. So that brings us to the end of this unboxing. Before I close out, we'll get to everybody's favorite part, which is the special editions. You know what, we got a good collection of editions here today. I will spin it round because we all love the Sprudge segment of these unboxings, which is this one. Let me know, of course, what your favorite edition is of this month, and also your favorite edge. My favorite edge, I think, is going to be Evocation. My favorite edition, this is hard. I think that we have a solid collection of editions here. I don't think one has wowed me, so I think it's Evocation. Evocation, again by ST/St. Gibson. Although I don't love the reverse dust jacket, I like all of this. So that will be all for this unboxing. I actually needed these boxes so that I can carry on packing up Vinted orders because my god, is there a lot. Once again, a big thank you to Fairyloot and Illumicrate for providing boxes to be opened up in this video. If you guys would like to check out any of the boxes that I have opened up here today, in my description box you will find a link to their websites and all of their social media, as well as any discount codes that I may have. But aside from that, guys, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish Candle website, the Etsy for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you're go when nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.